Hello, Jays Nation! Welcome back to your go-to channel, Toronto Blue Jays News Network, the heartbeat of everything Blue Jays. Today, we have 3 jam-packed updates about our Blue Army that just came to our notice a few hours ago. Trust me, the stove is hot and the front office is busy. We are talking about potential signings, major rotation rumors involving an old friend, and critical lessons we need to learn to get back to the World Series. So if you are a true Jays fan, you do not want to miss these updates. And yes, before we start the video, I have a small request. If you are new to the channel, then do not forget to like and subscribe so that you can stay in the loop with every single breaking story. So let's dive right in. Update 1. The missing piece? Jays linked to veteran lefty Danny Coulombe. All right, folks, let's kick things off with our first major story of the day. We all know how last season ended. It still stings a little, doesn't it? Our Toronto Blue Jays fought their hearts out, pushing the Los Angeles Dodgers to a winner-take-all Game 7 in the World Series, but we came up just short. We missed winning it all by the skin of our teeth. But the goal for 2026 is clear. We are here to finish what we started. Now, it has been a bit of a roller coaster ride in free agency this winter. We saw some huge splashes with the signings of Dylan Cease and the Japanese superstar Kazuma Okamoto. Those were massive. But we also know the heartbreak of missing out on Kyle Tucker, who decided to head to Los Angeles. But here's the thing. Ross Atkins and the front office are not done yet. There are still stones left unturned, and a new report suggests the Jays are looking at a very specific sleeper option to lock down our bullpen. We are talking about 36-year-old veteran relief pitcher Danny Coulombe. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Danny Coulombe is not exactly a household name like some of the other superstars we have been chasing. But listen to this. Jays Journal analyst Edward Eng is reporting that Coulombe could be the exact reliable veteran presence we need to dominate left-handed hitters. If you look at our current bullpen depth, we have Brendan Little, Mason Fluharty, and Eric Lauer. They are talented, sure, but do they have that seasoned, high-pressure experience? Coulombe brings incredible numbers to the table. For his entire Major League Baseball career, he has held left-handed hitters to just a 233 batting average and a .596 on-base plus slugging. That is elite suppression. Last season, splitting time between the Minnesota Twins and the Texas Rangers, he appeared in 55 games. And get this, he posted a 2.30 earned run average and a 1.16 walks plus hits per inning pitched. He had 0 blown saves. That is the kind of stability you need when you are chasing a championship. Think about those tight playoff games where one swing changes everything. Coulombe is the guy you bring in to shut down a rally. Eng mentioned that he might not be the flashiest name, but he could be the piece that is missing. We are all in on a World Series run, and having a veteran who can come in clutch throughout the year is invaluable. With the window for a championship wide open, we should be taking a flyer on a player like this. Of course, whether the Jays pull the trigger remains to be seen. Rumors are swirling as the offseason wraps up, but if we want to avoid the bullpen meltdowns that have plagued other contenders, like the Philadelphia Phillies, which we will talk about later, adding a guy like Coulombe makes total sense.
Update 2. Former ace heading to Atlanta? The Chris Bassitt rumors heating up.
Moving on to our second big story of the day. And this one hits close to home for a lot of us who have watched our rotation battle over the last few years. We are talking about a familiar face, veteran right-hander Chris Bassitt. Reports are coming in hot that the Atlanta Braves are targeting our former starter to strengthen their rotation before the 2026 season kicks off. Now, before you panic about losing prospects, let me be clear. This discussion is centered on a free agent signing, not a trade. That means if he goes, the Jays do not get players back, but we also do not lose any current roster pieces. Bassitt, who is now 37 years old, just finished a 3-year, $63 million deal with us here in Toronto. He was a warrior for us, but now he is on the open market. The Braves are looking for reliability after missing out on Framber Valdez, and they see Bassitt as the perfect stabilizer. So, why are the Blue Jays likely letting him walk? It comes down to the future. Toronto is not expected to bring him back, and honestly, it makes sense for where we are heading. Letting Bassitt leave clears significant payroll space. We have to be honest about the numbers. His average fastball velocity dropped to 91.5 miles per hour in 2025, which was the lowest of his career. While his strikeout production remains steady, committing long-term to a pitcher in his late 30s is a risky move for a team trying to get younger and faster. But let's give credit where it is due. Bassitt is valued for his consistency. Over the past 6 seasons, he has ranked near the top of the league in both starts and innings pitched, boasting a 3.57 earned run average and a 22.7% strikeout rate. In 2025 alone, he threw 170.1 innings with a 3.96 earned run average and recorded 166 strikeouts. He even gave us 8.2 innings of relief during our postseason run, posting an incredible 1.04 earned run average in those moments. For Atlanta, a short-term deal fits their timeline perfectly as they try to patch up a rotation that has seen injuries to stars like Chris Sale and Spencer Strider. For us, it is about financial flexibility. We gain the room to make other moves, maybe for that bullpen help we just talked about in Update 1. It is always tough to see a reliable arm go, especially one who helped us get to the World Series, but this is the business of baseball. We wish Chris the best if he lands in Atlanta, but our eyes are fixed on building a roster that can win it all this year. Update 3. Avoiding the Phillies curse. 3 critical lessons for 2026. And now, folks, we move to our final and perhaps most important update of the day. This isn't just news. It is a warning sign. We are talking about the Phillies curse and how the Toronto Blue Jays can avoid falling into the same trap. Think back to 4 years ago. The Philadelphia Phillies lost the World Series to the Houston Astros. They vowed to return, but instead, they have been sliding backward ever since, losing in the National League Championship Series in 2023 and failing to make it past the Division Series in 2024 and 2025. Does that sound familiar? We just lost the 2025 World Series to the Dodgers. We are on that exact same path, and if we are not careful, history could repeat itself. So, here are the 3 critical lessons we need to learn right now. Lesson number 1, don't let the core age out. The biggest issue for Philadelphia was relying too heavily on an aging core. Players like Bryce Harper, Kyle Schwarber, and Trey Turner were absolute beasts in 2022. But by 2025, the average age of their hitters was 30.3 years old. That age showed up in the playoffs when their bats went cold against the Dodgers. The Blue Jays have an older core too, with veterans like George Springer and Anthony Santander. But here is the difference. We have a wave of young talent like Vladimir Guerrero Jr., Davis Schneider, and Addison Barger ready to step up. We have to keep infusing that youth into the lineup to avoid the offensive slump that killed the Phillies. Lesson number 2, the bullpen can make or break you. We talked about pitching earlier, and this is why. The Phillies had a strong rotation with guys like Aaron Nola and Zach Wheeler, but their bullpen was an unpredictable whirlwind. In 2023, Craig Kimbrell struggled in the championship series, and in 2024, their core relievers gave up 16 earned runs in just 12 2/3 innings. We cannot have that volatility. We have already made a great move by signing Tyler Rogers to a 3-year, $37 million deal. But as we discussed in our first update, one arm isn't enough. We need depth, or we risk a meltdown when it matters most. Lesson number 3, diversity over power. The Phillies built a monolithic roster. It was home runs or bust. That works in the regular season, but in the playoffs, good pitching shuts that down. The Jays are already making changes here. With Bo Bichette's departure, and the addition of Japanese star Kazuma Okamoto, our lineup is undergoing an identity shift. We are moving away from that sea of sameness that failed Philadelphia. We have the talent, Jays Nation. We just need to be smart about how we use it. We are already on a different trajectory, but we have to stay vigilant. And that is a wrap on today's breaking updates. It is going to be a fascinating few weeks as we inch closer to spring training. Will the Jays sign Danny Coulombe to lock down the bullpen? Will we see Chris Bassitt dominate in an Atlanta uniform? And most importantly, can we learn from the Phillies' mistakes and bring that World Series trophy home to Canada in 2026? I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below. Who do you think we should target next? And are you worried about our veteran core? Let me know. If you enjoyed this video, please smash that like button. It really helps the channel grow. And if you haven't already, hit subscribe and ring that notification bell so you never miss a beat of Blue Jays baseball. This is the Toronto Blue Jays News Network, signing off. Stay blue, Jays Nation.